Hey everybody, Michael Snyder, California Weather Watch. Today is November 1st, and right now we are looking at the infrared satellite imagery. We've got a very strong frontal system rolling into Oregon as we speak. It's now starting to bring precipitation across northern California. This is going to sag south during the day today, bring some precipitation, thunderstorm threat, some gusty winds even down across the Bay Area, Sacramento Valley, and the Sierra Nevada. So we're going to go over some of that in some detail as we go through the video here today. And this is the Doppler radar overlaid on the visible satellite imagery. Look at all the lightning being produced and some of these storms moving towards the Oregon coast. You can also see the precipitation just now starting along the north coast and portions of northern California, and some snow for the higher terrain, places like Mount Shasta and Sierra Nevada here, and some gusty winds are going to come down across much of the state over the next few days as well. Taking a look at the snowfall forecast Friday through Saturday, you can see Lassen up here, Donner Peak, Echo Summit, Sonora Pass, and again, it's above 5,000 feet, mainly above 6,000 for most of the accumulation, but this goes for today on in through Saturday, November 2nd. Moderate impacts here. You know, it's early in the season. People aren't used to it quite yet, so watch out for the winter driving conditions if you're going back and forth across the passes. Take a look at the thunderstorm potential. This is for tonight, Friday p.m. through Saturday a.m. As this front comes down across the region, there's potential for the lightning, small hail, heavy rain, gusty winds, and it does include Sacramento here. I wouldn't completely rule it out for Stockton, Modesto, and maybe even the Bay Area as well. Taking a look at all the way down across Southern California, I do want to mention this: a light shower Saturday afternoon through Saturday night, and on in through Sunday morning. But yeah, some of the higher terrain probably going to get better chances. But you could wake up to a little bit of light precipitation for places like Oceanside, San Diego, or up towards Irvine. Looking at the strong northerly winds and light rain Saturday night through Sunday. Check it out. Some gusts, potentially locally 60 miles per hour, valleys and coast 20 to 30, and some crazy ocean conditions. Some winds gusting 30 plus knots out there, 8 to 14 foot seals, some gales. So heads up, it's going to get a little wild on the coastal regions here. We are moving into the fall season after all. We're also going to have this frost and freeze condition possible for some of the interior valleys. Look at some of the mountains down towards 20 in the 20s there. So yeah, heads up for that. Watch out and protect your vulnerable plants and your pets that get left outside. Wind advisory with the arrival of this frontal system as we go through the day today, 7 a.m. through 5 p.m. today. That's November 1st. And some of these south winds could be gusting 40, 50 miles per hour. So watch out. Secure any loose objects out there. It's probably already ongoing for some areas up towards Crescent City, for example. And this is going to be moving from north to south as we go through the day today. Again, the thunderstorm outlook, I kind of duplicated this one here, but this is the San Francisco's view of it as well. And Sierra snowfall this weekend. So this is a probability of 4+ inches of snowfall. And again, mainly above 6,000 feet. So unless you're going across the higher passes, it's just going to kind of look nice. Once we eventually clear out again, you'll see some of the snow-capped mountains out there. But watch out for the winter driving conditions if you are out across the backcountry. Now, looking at the Doppler radar for the next 60 hours, again, some of these very strong storms moving into Oregon, where water spout warned, and there and possible land spout tornado activity with that. And some of this activity is going to try to move down towards the northern California coast, but the front should be weakening as it does so. But it does have thunderstorm potential with it as we go on in through this afternoon and tonight. This is about midnight right here, and you can see that front draped right across the Bay Area up towards Sacramento. And again, Stockton, Modesto could get a thunderstorm out of this. It loses a lot of its punch by the time you move down towards Fresno, for example. But we could be teasing out some precipitation for the higher terrain of Southern California. You can kind of see it showing there as we go through Saturday night and on in through Sunday morning. So it's not a lot, but it's something. And it's just nice to see in the early season storms. If we take a look at lightning flash density potential, so this is the high resolution rapid refresh. This runs every single hour. It's updated every single hour. So it's kind of a very useful tool. But you can see this thunderstorm, this lightning potential as we go on in through tonight. It goes out hour 14 right now. If I update that, it'll probably give me more data because it's running actively as we speak. There goes hour 15, 16, 17. So yeah, you could see a thunderstorm down even south of the Bay Area, across some of the valley areas, and even some of the central coast as well. Now, looking at the winds, so with the arrival of this frontal system, look at these gusty southerly winds as we go through the day today and across the Bay Area as we go through tonight. And then you can see the winds south right here across Sacramento Valley. But then watch as we get the wind shift. You can see it start to come down the coastal regions, starts to come down Nevada out of the north, starts to roll down some of the valley areas as we go through Saturday night and on into Sunday. Look at some of these gusty winds. They start to turn offshore a bit here as well on Sunday morning, northerly across some of the desert areas, and they turn a little bit northeasterly across even some of Southern California, and they're out of the northeast here by the time we go towards Sunday night, and then the northerlies down the valley areas here. So it's going to get a bit blustery out there. And though they do turn offshore, it's only for a time, because you can see by the time we go towards Monday afternoon, we start to flip that up and we really reduce that offshore wind gradient here. So it's not a long term event coming up here with the offshore winds. And total precipitation on last night's European model, I'll scroll through this. And again, you can see that frontal system losing its punch as it moves past maybe Stockton or Modesto there as it gets towards Fresno. But again, we could tease some of that precipitation out across some of the Southern California higher terrain as we go on in through very early Sunday morning. Now, 2-meter temperature anomaly, we are going to remain below normal for the next few days. Here we go through the weekend. We're now on into early portion of next week. Things staying below normal for most areas. There's always some exceptions here. You can kind of see the Bay Area, a few areas above normal here. But then we bounce back towards normal maybe as we go through next week. We'll revisit that here over the next couple of days for sure. And looking at 5,000 feet, 850 millibars up in the atmosphere, you can see that we are below normal here. There goes our frontal systems rolling down across the area. And again, you can kind of see them turn offshore very briefly here, but it doesn't last too long. So we're not looking at any big offshore wind event coming up here, but they could briefly turn offshore as we go through the weekend. 6 to 10 day, especially this time of the year with the weather models have been flipping and flopping back and forth. You take this with a grain of salt, but I do like to show it above average for a lot of California, but there is some below average here across the Southwest as well. And then the precipitation outlook, you take that with a grain of salt right now. We'll be breaking that down for you day by day. But anyway, a little bit of a late start this morning. I hit an elk with my Tesla about a month ago and it finally got fixed. So I picked it up this morning. So that's why the briefing's going out a little bit late here. But anyway, I hope you guys are liking these videos. Click like and subscribe. We'll do this all again tomorrow and I will talk to you guys then.